In 1961, President John F. Kennedy founded the Peace Corps. And it was an idea that came to him over time just from his experiences, and I'm sure a lot of input from other people. But he wanted Americans to go out, and I think right now there's been like 250,000 young men and women, and some a little older, that have served and continue to serve in the Peace Corps in something like 114 countries, I believe it is. But over time, the Peace Corps really caught on, and in conversations and probably some planning, they decided that the motto, what evolved from all that, the motto of the Peace Corps is, it was, and it still is, the toughest job you'll ever love. The toughest job you'll ever love. And there's no doubt about the fact, boy, it may seem kind of romantic to serve in a faraway country and you see yourself on a beach with palm trees. It really isn't like that at all for most of the Peace Corps volunteers. They're in very, very challenging places. And I thought of that motto, the toughest job you'll ever love, when I was thinking about, reflecting about the gospel for today. And you could almost make the words of Jesus here in the gospel the motto for the Peace Corps, or a motto for a lot of things. Come to me, all you who labor and are burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am meek and humble of heart. For my yoke is easy and my burden light. That got me thinking then, I don't know how I get to these places sometimes, but I did. Like, what are some of the toughest jobs in the world? And now this may seem simplification, but I think two of the toughest jobs in the world, one is being a teacher, and the second one, and I think this is even more important than the teacher, is being a mother. I think that's probably the most challenging job in the world, trying to deal with any number of children, both in school or even teens or older, or a mother trying to serve her family. They both are really very tough jobs. So Jesus calls us to get some rest, and that's a good thing. We need to take care of our bodies. We need rest. And then he says, look, when you're burdened and worried and upset, take my yoke upon you. So what's a yoke? A yoke is a beam, okay, of wood that unites two horses or two oxen. And what it does is it keeps them in sync with one another. So where one might start getting tired, the other one picks up for the other oxen or the other horse. So it keeps them going, and they get far much more accomplished being yoked together, tied together, than they can on their own. Jesus says, let me yoke myself to you. Let me be your yoke. So when we're burdened, we're upset, things aren't going well, let's think about Jesus, yoking ourselves to Jesus and letting him help us carry the burden. May God bless you all.